Hey, what's up everybody? So I'm making this video after a conversation I had with one of my housemates this morning, and it kind of got me thinking over the past few hours since I've had that conversation. And I don't know, I just figured I'd make a quick video talking about it. So this morning, one of my housemates, he's one of the newer housemates here, he asked me about what my drug of choice was, and so I told him, I'm a polysubstance abuser, but I would say alcohol and nitrous oxide is what got me in the most trouble. And he was pretty surprised at the nitrous oxide. He's like, whippets? I'm like, yes, whippets. And so I told him a bit of my story, about the psychosis and mania that led to me losing my job and losing my nursing license. And then a week later, having that horrible incident with the police on Christmas Day where I got tased and dogpiled and had 4 of my ribs broken. And, how I continued to abuse it to the point where I ended up with the nerve damage that I've talked about on my channel, and not being able to walk or stand for several weeks, followed by a very slow recovery to get to like 99% normal after 18 months, after a slow physical recovery. And he mentioned, he's like, he was pretty like amazed and like wow, that's, because I told him like how much I was doing, like going through like 800 to 1200 cartridges a day daily, at the peak, like for 3.5 months, which is why, I'm surprised I didn't get nerve damage earlier, and I'm surprised I actually recovered from the nerve damage given the extent of the abuse. That's neither here nor there. But he's like, oh yeah, dude, like Steve-O, and he mentioned, I'm not sure if anyone watching this has seen, but I think there's like a documentary talking regarding Steve-O, one of the people from Jackass, and I know he's been in recovery himself for quite a while. He has a podcast, I think it's like Steve-O's Wild Ride or something like that. But they made a documentary a while back, talking about his like substance abuse, particularly with nitrous oxide, and they showed a bit about that, like him having a bunch of empty cartridges scattered around. It's been a while since I watched it, so my memory's not super clear, but it provided like a bit of a insight into Steve-O's struggles with addiction, especially with the nitrous oxide. And so yeah, I've been thinking about that today, and it's like, I think it would be so cool, and this is why I titled the video this. Hopefully it doesn't come across as clickbait, but it's a pretty accurate description. I think it would be super, super cool to be able to meet Steve-O, and like, go on his podcast or something, or, even just like have like a conversation with him, like, not recorded, and just talk about our experiences, have a conversation about our experiences, because it's kind of hard to really, it's hard to like really go in depth of like the total experience when you're abusing that much nitrous, and starting to experience the mania and the psychosis and the grandiose delusions. It's like really hard to articulate it to people that haven't experienced that, and that's okay. It's like, I guess maybe that's on me too for not being able to like articulate well enough, but I think it'd be cool to speak to someone that has had a similar experience, and I don't know, just like talk to him about it, and just talk to him about recovery as well. I think he's been in recovery for like a long time. So it would be cool to get some suggestions and advice from him, as a person, coming from me as a person who's been in recovery for a bit over 3 years. I'm pretty sure he's been in recovery for like several times that amount. So I think it'd be cool to have that conversation too. And, I think it would be cool to have like that conversation like on his podcast, because I don't know, I would like to ask him if he ever experienced any of the symptoms of nerve damage, like if he, had any experience with, some sort of nerve damage or impairment from the nitrous oxide abuse, whether that be like, peripheral neuropathy or not being able to walk or like, losing motor function. Be nice to have that conversation, but I think it would also be cool because, or at least I think it would be like a good thing because it's like he has a pretty big platform, and I think it would be cool if I was able to like go on there and talk about my experiences with the nerve damage and bring more awareness to, the possibilities of how, what sort of negative consequences abuse of nitrous oxide can lead to. It's more than just, losing your job, like me, getting in trouble with the law, blowing tens of thousands of dollars on it, losing relationships with friends and family. It's comes with some pretty serious health consequences, like the nerve damage and, possibly not being able to walk. Just being very lucky if you are able to physically recover. I know some people, have a harder time physically recovering, just because our bodies, we all have a unique genetic, makeup, different biochemistry, and our bodies react to different experiences in different ways. So I think it'd be cool too to like, talk with like, have a conversation with him about all that stuff for my own, like, I guess well-being, or like for my own like interests, because I would love to hear what he has to say about his experiences. But I think it would also be beneficial to like, I guess, just society or just a general population to hear stories of like, what can happen if you abuse nitrous oxide so much, and maybe that might, I don't know, just provide some sort of insights for others that are currently abusing nitrous oxide or plan on abusing nitrous oxide, and maybe that might give them a reason to not abuse it or abuse less and be more moderate, like practice harm reduction. So yeah, I don't know, I was just thinking about that. I think that'd be so cool. But I mean, not like, the probability of that happening is probably very, 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 very slim. I like to try to be optimistic. And I think there's like a non-zero chance of that happening. Like, I think there's like a very, very small possibility of that happening, especially as we grow this channel and I, get more subscribers and reach more people. So yeah, I don't know, like, I guess this video is also kind of like maybe speaking that into existence. I know that sounds pretty ludicrous, pretty insane. But I think it's true. I think it's good to like have pretty ambitious goals and aspirations, like following dreams. Because this is something I thought about before, but I've just never like thought to make a video on it. So yeah, I don't know, maybe just kind of speaking it out there, speak it into existence. You can, like, one can hope, right? Like, we can dream. I really don't think it's gonna happen. I need to I'm managing my expectations, but you never know, So yeah, I think that would be super cool. And on that note too, I think it'd just be cool to like go on like collaborate with like an influencer online that has a much bigger following, for the very same reason of, sharing my story and having it, like, I guess, broadcast to more people, to let people know of the potential dangers of substantial nitrous oxide abuse, and the extent of what the nerve damage can look like. And I guess on that note too, to also kind of broadcast to people that are maybe going through something similar with nerve damage, that, hey, yes, it's possible to physically recover. Coming from someone that couldn't walk or stand for several weeks, and like slowly worked my way up to like walking, very like unbalanced, all the way up to, being able to walk like large distances and bike and jump, run or jog, for brief periods of time, because my cardio is pretty bad still. But yeah, so I think it would be cool, but it would especially be cool though to meet with Steve-O and like have that conversation with him because of his experience. And it would be cool to ask him questions, because I'm sure he would probably relate to more of like the delusions or like the thoughts of like grandiosity that come with delving into that that rabbit hole of nitrous oxide. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, be real with me in the comments. Like, do you think that's like ever a possibility to be able to meet with Steve-O or like another big influencer? Or, let me know. Please feel free to let me know, like, hey, dude, like, you're insane for thinking that. That's never going to happen. Or maybe provide some constructive criticism. Maybe like, hey, yeah, maybe here's what you could do to possibly make something like that happen. I'm all ears. Please let me know. I'm always open to constructive criticism. But other than that, I thank you everyone for watching and listening to me speak of my grand aspirations and dreams. Maybe one day something like that will happen. We can only hope and, keep our mind open. So, yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I will see everyone next time.